All right. Good day, guys. Welcome to Design Dive with Doing. And it's been a long, long time. We've had like any close-ups like this, but basically we are going to be going back to our first love for something that we've actually explored like in detail here, which is illustration in Figma. And I know a lot of people have asked, oh, how do you guys like draw your cool illustrations? Can you teach us? Can you show us behind the scenes? And basically, that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try to do one of our like illustrations that we have done like in the past in Figma, and I'll use it to like maybe just explain how like we achieved it, limitations we're using Figma as regards Illustrator, and basically just like learn from the little that we know basically. I'm sure some of us have like come across our cool illustrations for this, or when we worked with in drives like illustration systems and had like all these illustrations. A lot of us saw it and they were asking, oh, how did you guys achieve it? And oh, can you show us? And then yeah, it's coming now. So I think that would start with, there are different options to start with. As you can see, some of this has actually been illustrated in Figma already. But I think that we can just pick this car, like the simpler, the better. And then maybe we can pick this tricycle. So let's start with the car. So we are going to be doing like behind the scenes, and then yeah, you may hear my thoughts, you may hear me think out loud, but yeah, just pardon me. The goal is the goal actually. So yeah, I want to like illustrate this in Figma, and I want you to just come along, and then if you have any questions, have any comments, you could leave them, and then we'll try to attend to them. And then maybe hopefully we'll explore creating or recreating the same illustration in Illustrator as opposed to Figma. Figma has its own limitations when it comes to illustration, although people have pushed the limits of Figma actually. Like you can actually, what you think is a limitation may not exactly be a limitation because people have pushed beyond the limit. We have seen like hyper realistics like illustration, even inside Figma. So yeah, although I will show you what the limitations may be, but there are ways to go around it. So yeah, let's just get started. So I want to illustrate this car. And the first thing will be to let's draw a frame. We'll start with 1920 by 1080. That's like presentation style, and then I'll just start drawing. So this is what I want to draw. I'll put it here, and then align center, center. Maybe I can scale the image up a bit. As I said, you may be hearing my thoughts actually. So yeah, just bear with me. All right. So this is, let's just put it side by side for reference. Yeah, let's put it side by side for reference. Okay, let's give it a background. All right. So let's just start drawing. So this is what I want to draw. The pen tool is the first. So you can pick any point actually. So let's just pick here and then draw out your curves. So the goal is not to really have like perfection in that sense. It's actually just to explain really. So yeah, pardon me, the curve may not be as perfect as you want them to be. So I'm just drawing points basically. I'm drawing points. That's what we're doing. So yeah, so I want to get a curve. Yeah. Yeah, is it? Okay, so I might need to tweak the previous one a little bit. Yeah, that does it. So yes, it's been a while that we looked at illustrations, but here this is throwback. So let's just continue. Okay, tweak this a little bit. So we're just trying to draw like the body actually. So we'll still come back to clarifying the details basically. So but for now, let's just get the body right, and then we can proceed with refining details later on. Ta-da! So we're actually done. So here, this is like the most basic. So I've just drawn like the body, and then we need to now go in and begin to like draw like the final details basically. So here, let's just start with, okay, let's still draw the stroke. Okay, so basically you would notice that I'm drawing in one layer. I'm drawing in one layer. So there are cases whereby you're illustrating in Figma and you need multiple layers. We'll get to those instances like shortly. But for now, I'm maintaining one layer because this is the way that will be easier to work with when they're in one layer. But for complex illustrations, you will need multiple layers. What I mean is that instead of drawing within this part, if you click on done, then you start drawing again. So you can see that there is another vector layer here. So there are cases where you actually need that. And it helps to solve some of the limitations of Figma, but we'll just continue like this. Let me just undo and continue. So still in this same layer. So when you want to continue drawing, just click on enter and then you're back into the part. So let's just continue. So here again. So I want to pick a point that is already existing. So just here, yeah. That will be very, very beneficial when you start coloring because if the points are not like merged together, painting them will not be possible. Like you can see now that it's picking them as different like sections. Assuming I were to delete this point, let me just delete it. Okay. Okay, so let me delete this one instead. So you can see that this is not it's not closed. Once it's not closed, you can't like color it differently. So that is important that if you are creating like sections within a particular illustration, ensure that they are all on the line or they are closed. And then the way you know it's not closed is when you want to start drawing or when you want to start painting. You notice that oh, the bucket tool is not actually filling like these particular sections. Let's just continue to our illustrations. We'll go over to so escape from here. And so we'll start from something very simple, something very small, and then we'll move again. Okay, all right, just tweaking, just getting the details in actually. All right, okay, let's draw the headlamps. Can still pick. Okay. So I was just switching between P and V, so I wanted to tweak the point, so I used P and V. I'll teach you some acts that you can also use. So, okay, all right. One of the act that you could actually use is sometimes if you want to draw sections that are mirror images of the other sections, you can actually just copy a particular section and paste. For instance, if this headlamp was the same size here, you could actually just cut this part and paste it here. Although it doesn't work in this case, but there are cases where it actually like saves you a lot of like effort instead of having to like redraw the same parts of an illustration again. Okay, let me. All right. So what again? What again? Okay, let's draw the styles. I'm making an escape to create and start drawing like a new part. Okay, let's draw the windscreen. So I should be playing some song in the background so that when I'm not talking, you can hear something. But obviously, um, a lot of people think, well, when there's silence, maybe people like me. So yeah, let's just next time I'll find the song we can vibe to it. Yeah, let's continue. All right. Okay, so I'm just trying to create this highlight here actually. So as you notice, so the use case I was saying was if I, for instance, do not attach this to a already like existing part and I just do like this, you will notice that if I try to paint, this takes it as a whole section. But if I had the part to already existing parts. Like, I mean, if you notice here, this is standalone. So that's why if I try to color it, it's showing that these two parts are like the same. But if I were to use my my move tool and just attach it to the part, you'd notice now that I can give them like different colors now. So I think that you get the point already. So P, let's continue. Escape. Let's draw these parts here. Illustration actually takes time, so trying to the more time you spend, the more perfect your illustrations will be, and then you can be like the big people in illustration that you admire. It takes time actually, like a whole lot of time. And this is actually as I will say, I will say low hanging fruit actually. This one is not as complex as some illustrations that I've actually seen before. So yeah, these are like low hanging fruit actually. I'm just trying to fine tune. As I said, the goal here is not exactly detail. Good. You can achieve that when you're doing your own like practice actually. So just to get the like main idea and then okay, escape and then start drawing. If you have any questions, just leave it under the comment section. Hopefully we'll see and be able to like respond ASAP. And don't mind our calls, they're not exactly perfect. This is mostly for practice, and then the longer you spend, the more you become perfect. And then if you're looking for perfection, yeah, take all the time in the world. So let's use a cheat here. So this is why Figma is also forgiving, and well, I will not say it's easier with Figma actually. So I want to draw these wheels. There are two ways to go around it. There's the easy way, and then let's say there's the hard way. Here, there's another way. The normal way you would want to do is to try to draw this circle just the way I've been drawing other parts. But because this is a well, although it's not an equal circle in that sense, it's not. But you can notice that if you try to draw like a sphere outside like this part or this illustration, we can actually just draw it and then add it here. That saves us like a lot of time. So let me show you what I mean. So normally with your O, you activate your, and this is what we want to draw. Let's just look at the, okay, let's try to mirror it. Just showing you part of the cheats that you can actually do. That you can draw things before and then copy and paste them into an existing part. Let's give it a stroke. Take out the fill. Tada, right here. Very similar. At least, okay, yeah. All right, so just do Control C, Control V, and then use Shift and Alt to scale it down. And then we're about to perform magic actually. Okay, so let's group them together, Control G. Then I want to, you notice that this is a group and this is the vector file. So I want to cut it. And then if you click into this illustration and do Control V, ta-da, it's now been added to this part. So we could also do that even for this end here. So let's just repeat the same thing. Draw a normal deformed circle and try as much as possible to fit it into let's give it a stroke, take out the fill, Control C, Control V, Shift and Alt to expand. Sorry, I'm calling a lot of shortcuts. They are normal regular shortcuts you will encounter. Control C, copy, Control V, paste. All right, I think that this is, yeah, I think this does work. As I said, the goal here is not perfection. If it was perfection, we'll probably spend more time here. Control X, enter into the illustration, Control V. What do we have? We have something. Okay, I think we're actually done with all the sections actually. So I think the next thing, yeah, I think we're done. So the next thing is trying to paint. So Yeah, this is where we get to the part where you would need to understand limitation of Figma. So, first of all, you will notice that one of the limitations that you may immediately see is that if you are using one like illustration, like layer for different sections, the stroke can only be the same for every section. So you notice that if I increase the stroke, it's affecting everything. And in some cases, you want the stroke to be thicker than other sections, or you don't want any stroke at all. Like, look at the original reference. Notice that there is no stroke here, there's no stroke here. There are no strokes in some parts, and then there are strokes in other parts. What we're saying is, if you are going to do something like this, you would need more than one layer. And this is where Figma loses sort of, because if it was Illustrator, you can actually pick a part and then you can decide whether or not you want to use a stroke or even add a fill to that stroke. Like, can you have like more like detailed editing, basically. You have more control in that sense. But for Figma, the way to get more control is that you have to create like multiple layers. And that's why if you've seen those guys that do like hyper realistic like illustrations in Figma, if they were to show you their layer panel, you run. Why? Because they can use, for you to achieve like one effect, you need like one layer. So imagine, and then you know that if you are doing like hyper realistic like drawings, you would need multiple layers because you want to add your blurs, add your lights, add your shadows, like, and for it to be more realistic, you need to be the more layers you need. So that's why, well, Figma can do that, but well, why kill an ant with a sledgehammer, basically? You probably want to use another tool. But yeah, people do it. But Figma is like overkill, sort of. You'd really want to use a simple tool for complex or 3D illustrations, basically, like 3D tools. So let's just get started with drawing. So first of all, I want us to duplicate. So we'll call one layer fill, one layer stroke, and then you see how it comes in handy. So let's hide the stroke and start with fill. So this is the fill. So for the fill, what we want to do is we want to take out the stroke because it's only going to be a fill. And then we invert that for the stroke. But let's start with the fill first. So take out the stroke. Okay, so what are the colors that we need? Oh, that's true. Yeah, so let's just get in drives color. Funny enough, you get okay, let's just it's just a green. Uh okay, these colors are actually desaturated. Let me get an illustration for in drive. Sorry, give me moments. All right, I think these are their colors basically. I want to get their colors so that it's easier. So we are just using InDrive's illustration system. In case you want to use like other like maybe colors, you have the liberty actually. So let me just copy paste. So this is okay, allow. So this is InDrive's like color, like you get guide. So basically, we just need two colors here, or three colors. The light green, the dark green, and black. That's all they use. See how simple it is. That's how simple life should be, actually. All right. Yeah, and then this other shade of green. And then really you can tell which one is being used. When we come here, you can see that they're actually using just the light green and black. So let's just start again. So few. So when you want to paint, you would use this paint bucket tool. And then you need to also be careful when you're using because sometimes it actually gives it like, okay, so we'll see use cases basically. I would explain what I mean. So light green, this is the color of the body. So okay, this is supposed to be white. So let's change it to FFF white, FFF white. Then this is black, that's 00000, 100. So basically, I'm just trying to like tweak some parts basically. And then you can use the eyedropper tool to pick to make it easier to. You just need to be very, very, very careful. For instance, let me show you what I mean. You can see that it's not, you need to be extremely accurate. Let me undo when using the eyedropper tool. And then you need to have, okay, let's just use, yeah, see what we're saying. Be very, very careful with the eyedropper tool. FFF, that's white. 00000, that's black. 100%. Same thing here. 00000, that's black. 100%. 00000, that's black. 100%. Or you can just write black. That was easier. So here too, okay, green, green. I think we are done with the, yeah. So where else? The tire should be white. Okay, here is green, here is green. Are we missing anything? Oh yeah, I'm missing here. Should be black. Just write black. Okay, what else again? Where else again? What are we missing? I think that's basically all with the fill. Yeah, I think that's it. So the next thing will be the stroke. So we hide the fill, turn on the stroke, and then turn on the fill. Let's see. So in this case, as I said, you notice that the strokes are a little bit thicker than 1 pixel. So let's just make it like 2 pixels. Let's see how it comes out. So okay, no, that's two. Two is looking okay. What do we think? I think it's fine. So this is what we want to do. Because the strokes do not apply to every part of the illustration. You notice that there is only stroke here, 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 the tires here and here. But here now the strokes are like everywhere. So we need to delete like some parts of the stroke. So let's lock the fill and then enter the stroke. So basically, want to delete every part that does not need a stroke. So here doesn't need. Okay, you can even select multiple parts actually. They don't need stroke. They don't need the stroke. They don't need the stroke. So let's start getting here. Even here doesn't need a stroke. Okay, the headlamps too do not need a stroke. So yeah, be careful. This actually needs a stroke. So this needs a stroke. Let's see. Okay, no stroke here. Okay, this doesn't need a stroke. Just be careful. Careful, don't delete the tires. Okay, yes, the tires should be there. This should be there. Okay, this part doesn't need a stroke. So you can add a point in the middle. If you want to delete like this entire line, just add a point anywhere actually. So use your P. You can add a point anywhere. Select it and then delete. It deletes everything. So let's see, this part too doesn't need a stroke. Doesn't need a stroke. Doesn't need a stroke. Let's see. Doesn't need a stroke too. Doesn't need a stroke too. I think that we are done. So yeah, we could now take this black and then use the dark. I think it's the dark. Okay, I think it's just plain black. So let's do that plain black. And yes, we are done. Yeah, we are done. So how do we do? How did we do? So yeah, this is basically as simple as it gets, basically. So yeah, this is the final product that we have. I think that we didn't spend too much time, but yeah, as I said, the finer you want, the more time to take. Like if you want to get like more finer details, and then this is actually like a simple illustration. So you notice that we didn't really complicate things like that. They are more complex illustrations, and if you would like us to draw them, let us know. Maybe so that we could practice together. But basically, we'll just start here and maybe we'll explore like replicating Illustrator to see how to look like basically. But I'm just more comfortable with Figma, although I can do Illustrator. Why? I'm a product designer and I use Figma like mostly, so that's why. But yeah, it's good to be versatile and then just have that superpower of using like other tools basically. So yeah, we'll probably explore like using like other tools and then we're actually done. So yeah, this is it. I think that maybe for next time could try this. But yeah, let's just stop here. Thank you very much. And then yes, let us know how we like fared. And as I said, this is just for practice. This is just so that you can learn and improve or become an illustrator. There's sometimes when you're working on products, you need like custom illustrations. It will be really handy if you can actually do that. So knock out your money and give somebody. Lol, yeah. So, but it's actually very like handy that you're versatile. And then who knows when the need will arise. So yeah, this is it. So I think we are done. Have a wonderful day, and yeah, see you sometime soon. Bye. Thank you for coming on our short ride. Bye.